Jerry Lee Jones from the Center for Association Management. I'd like to introduce you to Tim and Peter from Simplifying IT. I met Tim and Peter probably about 2 months ago because here at Chasm we needed to upgrade our backup facilities. We did have a off-site backup facility and partially on-site, but we felt that we could improve on that, and I have to tell you that both the product and the service that Tim and Peter have provided us has been fantastic. So I thought I would take this opportunity, as Chasm are responsible for your data as members and associations. So I thought I'd take this opportunity to introduce you to them, and maybe, perhaps you might like to use their services, which I'm sure they would be happy to come and see you and talk to you about. So, firstly, Peter, tell us about Simplifying IT's secure offsite backup.
Okay, well, the secure offsite backup is a little bit of software that we install on the client's PC, server or laptop, whatever the case may be. We can then configure that backup to run at a predetermined scheduled time and detect the changes that have occurred in that business for the day, and just the changes. That backup will then send those critical files across the internet to our 2 remote servers that we have here in Perth, and send the client, their IT service provider, and also us, if the case may be, a detailed email report of the success of the backup. If the backup fails, there is then a call to action so that the business can look at the backup schedule and ascertain as to why that backup didn't run. We can then run a manual backup for that business so that they have then got a complete backup on file for that day.
So, Peter, tell me, what is your experience with, when you go and see business, what is your experiences with what they're doing with their backups now?
Sure.
And what are the risks in them doing what they're doing?
Associated with that, yeah, sure. And look, really valid question. The vast majority of small to medium business that we come across are doing some form of backup, or are aware that they should be doing a backup. And more often than not, there's really 3 types of backup that they're doing. The first would be tape backup. The second would be a CD or DVD media backup. And the third is either hard drive or thumb drive. Now, really, all of those types of media that they're using do have their place. However, for backup, I really don't think that it's something that they should be relying solely on for the complete disaster recovery of their business. More often than not, the hard drives, the CDs, even the tapes are left on top of the server or on top of the PC. And in essence, that is really not a backup.
But they could get stolen too, couldn't they?
They could get stolen.
They could have a fire, couldn't they?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So those are the things that we here at Chasm were really concerned about.
Yes.
More so than our data backup's not working, but the issue is, I have to say, from experience, as you know, that we did have a situation where we had to do a recovery.
Yes, you did.
And it makes it so much easier if, like, just make a phone call. Peter, I need my backup.
Yes.
You told me what to do, and we did it. So
bring the data back.
And we don't have to worry about all those many and faceted risks that we have.
Correct.
So I guess really, you know, what happens with people? I mean, you must go in, and I know we had the situation where we had a lot of old data.
Yes.
That we had to filter out.
Yes.
Which I have to say was a really good exercise.
Yes.
And so I mean, basically we backed up and have stored now about the last 8 years of data that we had on the server. But now what we're down is to the data that we're currently using. Now that can save people a lot of money, and I guess you have that experience where you find that people really have to do a cleanup.
We do.
Or should do a cleanup.
Or should do a cleanup. Yeah, look, and absolutely right. A very core point. More often than not, when we go out on site, we will consult with the business about what's dynamic and what's not dynamic in regards to their data. Business will have, in general, a lot of data that's old, more than a couple of years old, that probably isn't critical to the operation of the business.
Yeah.
And that's where we'll consult about getting the critical data, selecting that and keeping the old data separate so that we can back up just the critical data. And that will greatly reduce the cost for the business.
So, how much does this cost? Obviously, it depends on how much data you have.
It does.
But what's like a starting price and a middle range price,
Yes.
that sort of thing?
Starting price is $37 a month, and that's for a gigabyte of compressed data. There is a setup cost of $99, which is a once-off charge. That's for the license and installation of the software, and also our time to consult the business on what files are critical. We have no contracts, and we provide full 24/7 remote support at no charge. And we do also have an on-site service where we can come out if it is an emergency for the business. So starting price is $37 a month.
That's great. So do you want to add anything, Tim, to that?
I suppose one of the biggest issues with small and medium businesses, they tend to, as Peter said, have a copy of the data rather than a backup. They consider it to be a backup, and it would be if the process was followed. But look, we're all human. We're human too. We get busy. We don't follow the manual process. So it's really important in business, whether it's backup or other services, to try and automate as much as you can. If you can automate anything in business, you should automate it. So that's really what our backup service does, is it helps automate the process and make it a no-brainer. So you're not losing sleep thinking about the backup at the end of the day.
Oh, good, Tim, thanks. So there you are, folks. I think really, just in summary, like us here at Chasm, you, in the first instance, need to review what you're doing right now with your data backup and look at the risks associated with that. You've got the risk of the backup facility failing, you've got the risk of somebody stealing where the computer that backup's in or the hard drive that it's in, you got the risk of fire. There's just a humongous amount of risks, and obviously, as you can see, backing up off-site with Simplifying IT's secure off-site backup is worry-free. You can go home, enjoy yourself, sleep at night knowing that your data is always secured. So I think it's worth considering.